Oh, here we are. It's time for the next monthly Q&A, and as always, if you guys want to be featured in the next one, either keep your eyes peeled on the community tab on the channel or just join the Discord server because I'll let you guys know over there immediately when something is happening. So we're going to kick things off with the Discord questions. The first one coming from Raiden Revengeance, who asks, do you still feel the same about Bloodborne and Elden Ring as you did when you made your initial ranking video? Now, honestly, I forget how I ranked all the Souls games in that video, but what I can do is I can rank all the Souls games for you guys right now. At the top, we have Dark Souls 1, and then we have Demon Souls, and then we have Dark Souls 3, then we would have Dark Souls 2, and then we would have Sekiro, and then we would have Bloodborne, and then we would have Elden Ring. And again, that's just how I would rank them, but you gotta remember, like, all of the Souls games are absolutely amazing, so me saying that, like, Elden Ring is my least favorite one isn't saying that Elden Ring is a least bad game. It's just like, hey, you know, when you're picking between all the ice cream flavors, it's like, you know, which ice cream flavor is your favorite, you know what I mean? And again, Elden Ring isn't a bad game, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, when I'm playing a Souls game, it's like, I know what I want out of said Souls game, and, you know, Dark Souls 1, Demon Souls, those are just like, you know, those are just still my favorite ones. Next question comes from Human, who asks, chicken burger or beef burger? If we're talking a straight up burger, probably, well, I don't know, it depends on the mood, right? Because, like, sometimes I want, like, a grilled chicken sandwich, and other times I want, like, you know, just, like, a straight up hearty beef burger. Then he also asks, what is the defining difference between a chicken burger and chicken sandwich? So I would think that a chicken burger would more or less be like a grilled chicken sandwich. Like, you know, you take it, because when you think beef burger, you think just like straight up cow meat just cooked into that burger form. So I would think it's just straight up like chicken meat cooked into like the same type burger form, like a grilled chicken sandwich type of thing. Whereas a chicken sandwich, I would think more along the lines of like the KFC sandwich or the Chick-fil-A sandwich or the Popeye sandwich, you know what I mean? Now granted, a chicken sandwich can still have grilled chicken in it, not just, you know, like fried chicken with like the breading on it and stuff like that, but that's just that's what I think of at least. I would probably say between chicken burger or beef burger. To go back to the last question though, I would say chicken burger, just because, I don't know, like I have a really sensitive digestive system, so like beef is one of those things where like sometimes it digests okay, other times it gives me a bit more trouble, whereas chicken is like always a safe bet. I can eat it and know I'm gonna feel okay afterwards. The next question comes from Ank, who asked, thoughts on cheese? I don't like cheese simply because I am very allergic to dairy. One bite of dairy, literally just one bite, will make me ill for days, so not much of a cheese guy, but if we're talking vegan cheese, I love vegan cheese. Some of my favorite brands being Life, Follow Your Heart, as well as Dea. The next question from also Egg is, what is your favorite cheese? I would probably say my favorite cheese, man, I don't know. That's another one where it's just like it depends on the mood I'm in, right? Because sometimes, you know, I want a provolone cheese on my sandwich, or an American, or a mature cheddar, or just normal cheddar. Smoked Gouda is another one, or Swiss cheese. It really just depends on the mood. Because when I'm buying my cheese, right? Because I buy vegan cheese. Because okay, so every single day, right? I eat a lunch meat sandwich. That's just how I am. I alternate between turkey, ham, and pastrami, and then, you know, I also alternate between my cheeses. Sometimes, usually I alternate between a white cheese and then a yellow cheese. And every time that I go in between the two, I do a different one each time. So it's sort of like on a cycle where like one time I'll buy American Follow Your Heart cheese, as well as like Follow Your Heart smoked Gouda cheese, and then the next time I'll buy like Dea Swiss cheese, as well as like Life mature cheddar cheese. So I really don't have a favorite one, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, I like all of them for different reasons, and I just kind of alternate between all of them. But though if I had to pick like some of my favorite types of cheese, well then like the 6 or however many that I just listed would be the ones that I eat the most. And then Ank's last question is, have you seen Megatron the Cat, as well as thoughts on Megatron the Cat? I have no idea. Is that some like Gen A thing? I don't know, y'all. I don't know about y'all's cat Megatrons and skibbity toilets. Is that what? I don't know. I'm too old for this. Now we're on to the YouTube comments section. It's one of those weird things where when I'm looking at the post, it doesn't actually show me the channel names. It just shows me like the handles, like the @ handles. So I'm just gonna have to read those. The first one coming from @MrProud6689, saying, how do you find time to beat all the games you play? The simple answer is I don't have a social life. I literally wake up, make videos, and then when I'm done with my work for the day, I just kind of play video games, and then you know, that's just kind of it. You know, if there's more work to do in the day, then sometimes I might break up the day, you know, do some gaming, do some work, then while I wait for a video to render, I'll play some more games, and then go back to work for a bit. But basically, you know, I'll get my work in, I'll do whatever work I have to do in a day, but anytime that I'm not spending working on like the channel or one of my other channels or one of my other side businesses, you know, because I have like other, you know, like side sources of revenue outside of YouTube, I always solemnly believe that you should always have multiple sources of income, because you don't want to rely on just one thing, because if one thing falls through, well, then you're screwed. But beyond all that, yeah, when I'm not working, I'm gaming, because I don't have any friends and I don't have any family, and I couldn't be happier that way. I choose to be a ghost, and when I compare my life now compared to like when I used to actually socialize with people, yeah, my life is like 1,000 times happier now. I'm much happier, much more comfortable. there's not a single negative to the way that I live now. I'm just happier overall. And plus, yeah, that means I get to play through a ton of amazing video games. So it's like, hey, if I could pick between either playing a video game or just mindlessly hanging out with people, where, you know, when you go to hang out with people, there's no goal, there's nothing you're doing, you're just kind of meaninglessly like socializing or just kind of doing whatever with no end goal or nothing to gain from it. Or I could just, you know, go play a video game that's on the backlog and experience something new and amazing and experience literal art. Yeah, I'd rather play video games than go hang out with people. The next question coming from my mom, who asked, where do you see yourself at 40? Okay, 40. By the time I'm 40, I want to be settling down. Straight up, you know, I'm already doing this YouTube thing now, and my plan is to just invest my entire being and everything into this YouTube thing, because, you know, I'm literally running multiple channels at this point, so I have multiple ways, like, I have multiple chances at this thing. I mean, I'm already technically doing it full-time with this main channel, but, you know, I'm just gonna keep putting my all into all these different channels, as well as my other side businesses, and I really want to get myself set up, not necessarily to retire by 40, but just to be able to, like, chill out by 40 and, you know, not be worrying so much about everything, just at least living comfortably. That's the plan. Is it probably going to happen with today's economy? It's hard to say. And, you know, even if I can't meet that goal by then, I'm not going to be mad. You know, I'm willing to work myself to the bone until the day that I'm 70, till I'm 80, till the day I literally die if I have to. That's just like the goal or the thing that I'm working towards at the moment. But yeah, hopefully, you know, I have some nice house that's like, I don't need a mansion or anything like that. If anything, I'm cool with just like a one-story house. I don't even want stairs in my house. You know, I'm cool with just like a small home that's just big enough for me, which means I literally only need like a kitchen, a bedroom, a bathroom. That's literally it. Just like, you know, some small home that's like kind of away from everything, but not too far into the country to where like internet speeds are suck. Like I still want to have access to like fiber internet, and I want to be walking distance from grocery stores, but at the same time, like for me, walking distance, you know, I'm cool with walking, so that would be like 2 miles. But at the same time, I still wanted to be at a place that's more like out of the way. You know what I mean? Beyond all that, I just want to be doing what I'm doing now. You know, just making YouTube videos, playing video games, you know, building Legos, watching anime, just, you know, doing the stuff that I love. Then her next question is, do you see yourself traveling to other countries one day to see where your favorite games are made and where your roots are? Actually, yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, as much as I hate leaving the house, I feel like one day when it's like, you know, when I'm getting towards the latter years of my life where I'm like, all right, you know, I'm an old grotesque, I got nothing left to lose. Then at that point, yeah, you know, I really want to travel to Japan. There was a time where I wanted to live in Japan, but just due to my family and my siblings living here in the States, I can never really do that. And plus with the language barrier, I've talked about it before, I can speak some Japanese, but I'm not very fluent in it. I can hold very light and basic conversations like, hey, how are you doing type of stuff, but not much beyond that. And again, for the sake of my siblings, you know, I always want to be here for them. So I could never realistically live there, but I would like to travel there just because not only do I love the culture and just, you know, just everything about Japan, right? But that's also where a lot of like my favorite video games and video game companies and all these other things originate from. So I really think it would be awesome to see that and also go like video game hunting there and like, you know, maybe like trading card hunting, because I'm really into Japanese games and Japanese trading cards and stuff like that, and especially with like Japanese games, for example, because there's so many times where like Japanese games either have like different features, or there'd be like certain types of censorship that are just kind of quirky but cool, or just like straight up different cover arts. Like I think of like Dark Souls, for example, is one of my favorite examples where it's like in the States we have one cover art, but then over there they had another one, which, you know, I love both of them, but they're so, I mean, they're both different and they're both amazing in their own ways, but I just, you know, it's just cool. I'm the type of guy where I like analyzing differences between like different versions of things, whether it's different versions of things from different regions or just different versions of things straight up, like when it comes to comparing like the original version of Star Wars before it was, you know, like Episode 4 A New Hope, comparing it to like the new versions that you would see on Disney Plus, for example, like seeing like where they added CGI, how was the color grading different in this version compared to the Blu-rays and the original film, and so like I love analyzing those tiny differences. Or the same thing with video games, just like, hey, how did they change this in this remaster? What did they do here to this? How was the soundtrack different? How did they compress this? And furthermore, beyond that, going to see where my roots are, yeah, I would also like to travel to South Korea, because I am half South Korean. So yeah, Korea is another culture where, you know, I've always loved Korean culture, really just Asian culture in general, like China, Japan, Korea. I would love to travel to all of those places. China, I mean, like, that would be a cool one to see, but I'm not necessarily in a rush to get over there. Japan and Korea would be, like, my main two, like, bucket list. Like, oh, yeah, I really want to go there one day. There's also some other places in the world that I like to just, you know, see sometime. Like, you know, maybe, like, Canada or something like that, just because, you know, it's so close by. It's like, hey, you know, we might as well just go there just to say, hey, I've been to Canada, just, you know, other stuff like that. I've always thought it'd be pretty cool to go out to the UK, especially for, like, the same reasons as I was saying before with Japan, where, like, video game hunting in the UK is pretty cool, because sometimes, like, another one I think of over there is, like, Breath of the Wild. You know, the cover art Walmart in the US is one thing, and then you look at the European version and that's just, you know, something else entirely. Next question coming from my sister, who asks, will you ever get a cat and will you always be a cat person? One day I actually kind of would like to get a cat. And yes, I will always be a cat person. I don't like dogs. They're loud and yeah, that's about it. No, but seriously, like dogs, they're just, you know, like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I respect dogs. Dogs are cool, but you know, I have PTSD. So like very loud and abrupt noises, like, you know, kind of trigger that and they make me feel just very, I mean, if you have PTSD, you know what I mean? I don't even know how to explain it. It's almost like an instant state of like paranoia, but also like an anxiety attack, and also just like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just it like sends your whole nervous system into a shock when something like triggers your PTSD. So yeah, me and dogs are just a no-go. Like even when I'm running around my neighborhood, when I have dogs just like randomly start barking or running after me or whatever, like that stuff, like even that gets me going. But yes, one day I would like to get myself a nice black cat. And finally, the last question coming from It's Rainy13, who asks, why did you start making videos? Ooh, okay, so this goes back to the early days of YouTube. I'm talking the first couple years that this platform even existed. I was just, you know, ever since YouTube was a thing, I just always enjoyed scrolling through, seeing what goofy videos people were making. But I remember the first time that I really felt like, wow, I really want to do this. I would have been like when I saw the first couple Smosh videos, as well as Forest Fire 101. If y'all don't know who Forest Fire 101 is, basically he still makes videos to this day, which is awesome. But he makes like these stop motion Lego videos, and yeah, you know, I've always been into Legos. He always made like those Lego Batman videos and stuff, and man, those early videos compared to his later ones, it's just crazy like how fast the quality improved like in such a short amount of time. Then he always made like a bunch of IRL videos. Like he had the whole Craig series, which is absolutely hilarious, and he had like the whole zombie apocalypse thing. I can't remember the exact name of it, but there was like, it was like a two-part thing. The first one was only like 30 minutes long, but it was like this complete, you know, like IRL like sketch, I guess you want to call it, or like short film. Then the second one was like an hour long. And then again as well, you know, watching like the early Smosh videos, and then like once we started seeing a lot of these like Let's Players and stuff coming out back in the day, just, you know, I was always like, man, I really want to create content like this. And I remember me and my cousins and, you know, me and my friends and stuff like that, you know, sometimes we'd be hanging out and man, I hope those videos are long gone, but there is, if it's still on the site, then there may be some tangible video of a younger me from like 2008 or 2009 just out there somewhere. Man, that was like 16 years ago. Oh my gosh. And ever since then, you know, YouTube's been an on and off thing for me. Like I did it throughout the early 2010s and then through like the mid 2010s, you know, from like 2013 to 2017. I dabbled in it a few times. Around the 2018 to 2020 range, I dabbled in it a bit more, getting a bit more serious with it. And then the middle of 2020, well, that's when I went all in, started doing daily uploads. Haven't missed a day since. You know I say that a lot, but I'm proud of it. What can I say? Almost 4 years of consistent daily uploads, never missing a single day. That's almost half a decade of consistent daily uploads, never missing a day. Can we take a minute to like process that? Like I'm proud of that. So when it comes to why I started making videos, I guess it would have just been, you know, I saw other people doing it at the time and I thought it was just really cool. And plus I've always just been really creative. I've always loved creating stuff, whether it's drawing, coloring, just like stuff like that, or like building stuff with Legos or building stuff in real life. Just, you know, I've always loved just creating things, making music, stuff like that. So, you know, it's just one of those things where the creative side of me took over, and I was just like, hey, you know, I really want to start making videos, and then I started to do it, and nowadays, I continue to make videos not only because I love what I do, and I love the creative aspect of it, and, you know, just making videos in general, like the whole process, I just absolutely love it, but I also like doing it on a daily basis, not only because, not only is it good for my mental health, just because it allows me to be creative, lets me get my energy out, lets me just, you know, be me for a little bit, just turn on the camera, go crazy, or be serious depending on the video. But it also gives me that daily check-in with you guys. Like every single day I get to pop in and be like, hey, how are you guys doing? Like, is everybody still all right? Like, you know, you guys are like my family, so I like checking in like every single day. Like, hey, we still doing good? I get to interact with you guys in the comments or in the Discord server or whatever, and I just, you know, I like being actively engaged with my community. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for you guys, well then, you know, like, I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I would still be here making content, but it obviously just would be very different. You guys watching these videos is what allows the channel to continue to grow and, you know, just for things to get bigger here. So, you know, I always just gotta make it known that I seriously appreciate it. I always appreciate you guys coming back, watching the videos, sticking around, and yeah, genuinely means the world to me, because this has been my dream for as long as YouTube's been a thing. So now that it's my full-time job, it's just something it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like, what do I even say to that? Like, you know, I'm so thankful. So Thank you. But anyway, that is all the questions that I got this time. Again, if you want to know when the next one is happening, either keep your eyes peeled on the community tab of the channel or just join the Discord server. Either place is, you know, a great place to go. I also want to start posting it up on my other social medias like Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Like, I'll probably start posting over there as well. So, you know, I always leave all my stuff linked in the description. So if you guys want to go over there, follow those pages, you're more than welcome to do so. But anyway, as always, massive shout out, thank you to all the Patreons and channel members. Thank you to all in the low baller tier, and a big shout out, thank you all in the mid baller tier. Milo asking me, Dad, man, in the bigger shout out, thank you all in the G tier, run events, Sunlit Cheese Girl. Thank you guys so much. You guys are literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.